All right, we've seen how rate of change at a certain moment is really the derivative. We've also seen how marginal cost is really the derivative of cost, the change in the cost. We also talked about marginal price and even marginal revenue, right? Remember, revenue is Q times P, quantity times price. For our last example, we're going to talk about marginal profit. Now, if you think about profit, profit is what you're actually bringing home in your pocket. And so profit really comes up from your revenue, the stuff that you bring in, minus the cost that it costs you to kind of manufacture or produce whatever product you're selling, right? And so when we hear the word profit, we need to think of revenue minus our cost. Now in this example, it says, suppose that the cost function for the product in example 7 is given by this equation. So we have a cost function, and then in example 7, we should also have a revenue equation, right? Where's our revenue equation from example 7? It looks like example number 7, our revenue equation is all of these, right? All of these are the same equation, just a different form of. So we have a revenue equation and we have a cost equation. So we should be able to figure out our profit by doing our revenue minus cost. Now it says to find the marginal profit. As soon as we hear that word marginal, we know that's just the rate of change in our profit, or our derivative of profit. We want to find the marginal profit when we sell 15,000 units, our marginal profit when we sell 21,875 units. So here we go. Profit is our revenue, which we said in example 7 was this equation, minus our cost, which they gave us in this example as the 2100 plus the 0.25Q. So together, when I subtract them, that equals my profit. I can go ahead and simplify this a little bit. I brought out the 1 over 25,000 like before, so that left me with the 50,000 Q minus Q squared, and then I distributed the negative through to that second parenthesis. This is my profit function. I still have to find, though, my marginal profit, which means I need to take the derivative of this now. So we have just a constant in front that we should be able to leave alone. Then we should be able to take the derivative of that second piece for the derivative of that first term. Then we can take the derivative of our second term. Because it's just separated by a plus or minus sign, I can take the derivative of negative 2100, which we know the derivative of any constant is 0. And last, we can take the derivative of this third term, because it's just separated by a plus or minus sign, and the derivative of negative 0.25Q is just negative 0.25. So now, our black equation is our marginal profit, the rate at which our profit is changing depending on how many units we sell. So the first part of the question asks us to figure out our marginal profit when we sell 15,000 units. That means we're going to take 15,000 and we're going to plug it into our derivative of profit, our marginal profit. When I plugged in a 15 and I put it in my calculator, so pause the video and do that and make sure you understand how to put it in your calculator correctly, I ended up getting 0.55. So what does that really mean? Well, that means when we sell 15,000 units, or when 15,000 units are produced, the profit is increasing by 55 cents per unit. It doesn't just mean I'm making 55 cents, it means I'm making 55 cents more than I was per unit than just a second ago. So my profit is increasing by 55 cents per unit when I sell 15,000 units. So what happens in my marginal profit? What happens in my profit, or my change in profit, when I sell 21,875? So now I'm going to plug in 21,875 into my derivative. I ended up getting 0. What does that mean? Well, that means when I produce 21,875 units, my profit is not increasing or decreasing. It's staying the same, right? And so my profit is the same as it was just a second ago. That doesn't mean I'm making nothing. I could be making $1 million. Well, as soon as I sell 21,875 units, I'm still making $1 million. My profit hasn't changed. It hasn't gone up and it hasn't gone down. It has stayed the same. So a little bit of difference there, so be careful. We don't say our profit is 0. We just say that our profit isn't increasing or decreasing. The change is 0, so it's staying the same. Oh, there's a part C. I didn't see that. So part C says, what happens then if we sell 25,000 units? So again, let's plug in 25,000 into our marginal profit, our derivative, and see what happens. I ended up getting a negative this time. We haven't seen negatives a lot, so what does that mean? If I have a derivative at 25,000 equal to negative 0.25. Well, that means after 25,000 units are sold, my profit is decreasing now by 25 cents per unit. So I'm losing a quarter per unit every single time I sell a unit. As soon as I sell 25,000, my profit just went down by 25 cents per unit. So if I'm this business, I know that I'm increasing when I'm selling 15. I know that I'm not changing as soon as I hit 21,875. But I know that if I start to sell 25,000 of these things, then my profit's going to start to go down. And so you can kind of figure out where that even point is, so you can make sure that you're manufacturing and producing the ideal amount so you can make the most profit, right?